yesterday by the slide that the possible outcome which we got from this, the growth patterns, that is the technical coefficient function, which is a long run function, and this itself depends upon the capital growth and also this labor growth. So this technical coefficient is nothing, that is your change in k by k. Okay, so this r prime is nothing, this is the growth of capital per worker. Okay, or we say per labor. So this growth of capital or this r prime would become r star when the value of this would be 0. So this value of change in k by k whenever would be 0, then we consider that is a steady state situation. How this is 0? Because if this is 0, this portion will be here and this will be positive, or this portion will be here. So this says that both terms, like this growth of capital and this growth of labor, both will be equals to each other. So whenever these two terms are equals to each other, automatically this growth of capital, or we say change in k by k, will be equals to 0. So this is very important in the Solovian model. The Solo has aim only to reach where this change in k by k is equals to 0. So we have a target only of this. Okay, so a steady state condition would be identified when this r prime is equals to 0. Now let's understand the interaction of this coefficient, technical coefficient function. So this is a diagrammatical explanation of it. So we will be taking here this capital labor ratio at the x-axis, and dr by dt, this is nothing, this is the growth of this capital, or we say this is technical coefficient function. Now we have this NR line, as I told you, this is increasing as constant proportion. Okay, so whenever there is a labor growth, that is a constant proportion of a growth, or in another words, the labor supply, we are assuming that is a limited one. So in long run itself, you can assume yes, it is increasing, but in the same proportion, because the population growth is also exogenously determined. Also this labor growth is exogenously determined, that is LOENT, which is an exponential growth. So that's why it's just a constant proportion. Whereas in the short run, we always consider there is an inelastic growth of this labor supply. So if there is any change would occur in the future or in the long run, that is always give a shift, a rightward shift, which is a vertical shift. Again, so we can call it always a constant proportion growth. So this red line is indicating a 45-degree line, a constant proportion of a growth over here. Then this purple line is actually your production function. We all know that we started our possible growth patterns with a production function, which is a function of K and L, which is capital and labor. Okay, so from this itself, we have derived that the relationship of this dr by dt is depending upon this parameter. So here itself, it is depending upon this capital growth. Okay, so we do consider this function is, why this tending or declining afterwards, because of this use of capital along with this labor. So this we consider as a capital growth, and this we consider as a labor growth. So as I was mentioning here, this r prime whenever would become 0, then only these two will be equal. So this r prime will be considered as r star over here. It means whatever capital per labor ratio is being utilized in the economy, that is equated the growth of this labor. Okay, and we reach to the steady state growth. So star is basically your indication of steady state technical coefficient function. Okay, so we reached and arrived at the position where this sfrn, which is equal to this nr. Okay, so below this position, what is exactly the level of this r prime is lower than this r star. Okay, so it means we can still increase this capital labor ratio. It means the more capital will give us, of course, the capital is below than the labor growth. Okay, so in that situation, capital has to be increased. Like this is the situation of all developing countries, where they can enhance this capital through equated with the labor supply, so that you can reduce diminishing returns. So here, of course, you would see initial capital capital, this is lesser. So because of that, you'll be definitely getting an increasing returns. By this, definitely you are getting diminishing returns, but still this capital would enhance with the use of this labor growth, and this will induce the saving along with depreciation. See, this is very technical, I'm telling you. Along with depreciation, the saving would be generated. So this is very important for all developing countries, that they have to enhance this thing, the capital growth, and along with this labor growth. So here, when this R prime is below than R star, so definitely what is exactly your technical coefficient is positive term. Okay, so still we have an opportunity to rise, and then this particular thing has to meet with each other. See, if we would compare these two situations, then still it is indicating our labor supply is below than this, this capital growth. So that is why this is indicated over here. So this red line and this purple line has a distance, a gap. So this gap has to fulfill. So what is the suggestion of all this? I think I would say here this indication is for all developed nation, and this is the condition for all developing nation. So here basically the developed countries, all they are facing what problem? Their labor growth and the labor supply is lower, and their capital growth is more. So this is based on their initial capital resources. So all developed countries have more initial capital resources. So that is why there is a gap, and this gap is indicating there is a still potential to reach on this technical coefficient function. So for acquiring this long run growth and for the steady state growth, what we need to do, we have to go further on this particular movement on this line. Okay, or we say a point of stability is what are achieved over there. This is not stable. Okay, here also, here also, here also, this is not stable. So gradually you need to move towards this line. So what is the suggestion of the solo year to all developed nation, that they have to increase proportionally this NR. It means the growth of labor supply is very important to reduce your diminishing returns and to rise this technical coefficient function. So you need to reach on this R prime, so that this should be equated to this R star. Now after this position, what is the position of this R prime? So this R prime is now less than 0. It means your technical coefficient function is now getting declined. So this is giving us declining or diminishing returns are being continued, but giving us negative results. Okay, so this negative returns has to be minimized. So what in some other countries, like these developed countries, they are facing the problem of higher population. So because of high population, their labor growth is also increasing, because it depends on population growth. So that's why it is a constantly moving up. So this labor growth, whenever it is more than this SFRN, then what is the suggestion, that we have to reduce it either, or we have to increase this. So if we'll increase this, it will equate this NR. Okay. So in that case, your diminishing returns would be stopped, and you will come down to this R prime. So all developed nation, what is the suggestion? They have to reduce their capital, so that this gap has to minimized, and they'll come down to the labor growth. Okay, either they can do this, or they can increase this labor supply or the skilled labor supply to meet, or to stop this diminishing returns. So this way, you can converge to this point where this R prime is equals to this R star. So here we have to reduce this labor growth, here we have to increase labor growth, from this side we have to reduce capital, from this side we have to increase capital. So that is why the solo suggestion is what, that because capital growth itself is depending upon these two, so we need to control this aspect also, and also this aspect for both of nature's country, like the developing one and also this developed one. And then only we can go for the more capital growth and also the more saving. And this saving would always gives you change in K by K, which is equals to 0, a steady state condition for the future. And then only this technical coefficient function, a long run possible growth pattern would be fulfilled. Is that clear to you guys? Or you have any query in this diagram? Anybody has query in this diagram, or I can proceed?
No, ma'am.
No. Who Nitish is saying or Bharat is saying?
No query, ma'am.
No query. Okay, fine. So let's proceed further. So this R prime is equals to 0, then actually R star would be established. So basically we call it capital and labor will grow proportionately. So followed by constant returns to scale, because our assumption is still on this constant returns to scale. The only thing is that the diminishing returns would be generated by both of the interactions of the capital and labor, though here the more emphasis is given on the capital according to the, the same as the case was Harrod and Dormer model. So that's why it's also the similarity between the Solo and Harrod Dormer. But the capital why is so important in the Solovian case, because this capital, if you are giving the more emphasis to reduce and to increase, that is only controlling majorly to this diminishing returns to scale, and also to give a growth to your technical coefficient function. So this real output will grow at the same rate of n, and output per head of labor force will remain constant. So here the analysis of y by this L, okay, y by L, this will remain constant. Though k by L will not remain constant, okay, real output will grow, but at the same time, output per head for the labor force will remain constant. So in the application part, we'll definitely relax it, but this is as per, according to this model, and this assumption of technical coefficient would be equals to 0 is possible only when output per head is constant, because otherwise consumption would be affected. If this is increasing and rising because of the population, then output would reduce. So this definitely would create a problem to establish this relationship. So for now we are actually making an assumption following this, that output per head of labor force will remain constant. Okay. So path of divergences, as we know that they sometimes NR is greater than this SFRN, sometimes SFRN is greater than this NR. So for all of the countries, there are the few points which is giving us, the different stages of R1, R2, and R3. So there we have one point which is E1 point. This is actually bringing us into the point of instability. Okay, so any policy intervention which is positive towards, the rising this capital, because here at R1, if this condition we would follow, yes, of course, we can say that NR and SFRN both are equal at E1, but the economy cannot lie somewhere at the R1. The reason behind it, the K0, which is the initial capital, the economy can sustain on that also, but the economy has to rise because the population is rising, and then because we realize this assumption, that is the output per head of labor force will remain constant, that exactly not remain constant. So that is why you need to go further from this point to towards this line. So this says if you are not rising, increasing the capital after this position, then what happens, you can reach towards, this line to the end. It means in this situation would be a downward situation or a declining situation for the country, where the growth would decline. But if the country would like to sustain for the future, so this particular point would, act as instability point, and that is why this unstable point would lead us towards the more capital growth. Okay, so here this capital growth would be rising, still it is lower than, this NR. So this situation is for all underdeveloped and this developing countries, where the population growth and the labor growth is more than the capital growth. Okay, so our capital, to increase the capital growth, there should be an interventions always in the country itself. Okay, so the technology may help, though it is given, but still they may help. We can understand this thing in the application part also. Okay, so there should be some interventions in the country so that the saving should rise. Okay, so because capital is only inducing the saving, and saving further investment, and further investment is giving us capital accumulation only. So the policymakers has to think for, the saving interventions within the country, those countries specifically, those are the developing and this underdeveloped one. So we could rise, from E1 to E2, where again this another R2 situation is arrived, and this R2 is saying that is equals to 0, and it's also giving us another steady state. But you see, this steady state is lower and this steady state is more. The reason behind it, you are actually giving us more rise in saving. This is a new investment, the more saving, and along with saving, of course, there is a depreciation, but this depreciation is lower because of MPK is rising, the marginal productivity of capital is rising. So from this E1 to E2, whenever you are reaching, you're always an emphasis on MPK, which has to rise more than depreciation. And then only you can reach this E2 point. So you can reach at least on the new steady state point, which is a better situation than this. Okay. So here also NR is equals to SFRN is, both are equal. Now, this situation is basically indicating all developed countries, as we know that the developed countries have more SFRN or the more capital growth than this labor growth. So for them also, what they need to do, because it's also initial capital is acting as an initial capital for them. So let's consider this is an initial capital for all developed countries. So if they would start from this position, okay, they might generate more depreciation because more capital they have. So what is suggested according to the solo model, this gap has to be reduced. So how they will reduce, either they have to reduce their capital or they have to increase their labor growth. Okay, so in that case both will be, rising. But we know that this NR can only rise in the long run. Okay, so this NR definitely will not affect your steady state, but at the same time this is, controlling your depreciation part. But our control variable, this NR, is only moving proportionately. It's a constant by assumption. So you can only do one thing, you can reduce this capital portion. So gradually you see, first it is increasing at increasing rate, because here the NR is lower, the gap is lower. You can see this gap is lower, so it's giving us increasing returns. But from this position it is increasing but at diminishing rates. Okay, then it becomes constant, and then further it is coming declining. So it's an automatic adjustment according to this assumption of Solovian model of R, that this technical progress function automatically would get adjust with this possible growth patterns, and this will get, come down from E2 to E3. So still it is rising, and you're reaching on the higher steady state growth. So see, if you consider this is the steady state growth for all developing countries, and this is for all developed countries, but based on the condition that how you're utilizing this capital along with this, labor growth, which is given as a constant proportion to us. Okay, and if they are not able to utilize this capital according to this, then what happens, this country which are the developing one or the underdeveloped, their pace of growth would be more faster than this. The reason, because they have less capital, so they might be occurring, the less depreciation. The reason behind it, they have a control mechanism already, this to reduce capital. And see, here they are increasing gradually from this pattern. They are finding increasing returns. You see, here it is definitely less. The reason behind it, initial capital is less. Okay, here the initial capital is more, but the initial capital is less. But gradually what they'll find, they will have more increasing returns than this. Okay, so the faster growth would always be recorded for these countries, not to these countries. Okay, so that is the difference, which is a major difference was pointed out by Solovian case, which you can call it, the unconditional convergence too. Is that clear to all, or you have any query and the doubt in this? Yes, guys. Do you have any query in this diagram? Students, are you there? Okay, you are texting me. Let me check that. Clear. Fine. So, coming back to this. So let's proceed. This is just an alternative mathematical explanation of it. And we already have seen this possible growth patterns. So we have this dr by dt, we already have seen that. So it's just, the alternative way to define it. So this is the growth pattern. divided by this whole R. This is nothing else. It is just a relative growth. Okay, this is a relative growth because this is the time wise growth of this dr by dt, and divided by R is gives you this previous one, and this is the growth on it. So it is change in R by R. Okay, nothing else. This is change in K by K. So this is again a relative growth of capital, minus this is a change in L by L. Okay, so this relative growth of capital, we can call it, this is N. Okay, N number of population we already have seen here by this NR. So this is the same thing. dk by dt, we already know that this is the growth of capital. We already proved it in the previous possible growth pattern. So I can replace this portion also. And this whole function would be like this: dr by dt. This R will be multiplied here now. SFKL, because this is our production function, and also this growth pattern divided by this K and minus NR. So this could be written like that. Since it was assumed to have a constant returns to scale, this multiply and divide by the production function with L. So the same mathematical manipulation will do. So this will be done. So one you will be getting again this K by L. If you reduce, this is nothing. We already have defined this K by L. This is your R. Okay, so by mathematical manipulation, we got this 1 over here. Okay, this R will be cancelled out, and this gives you again the same value of this dr by dt what we have got earlier. Okay, so that is just an alternative approach. Through the relative growth patterns also, you can reach to the same equation, the dr by dt, that is the growth of technical coefficient function, or in another words, that is changing K by K, which should be or must be equals to 0 if you want to reach on the steady state growth. Is that clear, you guys? So this basic portion is over. Okay, if you have any doubt in this basic portion, you may ask. Otherwise, I'll proceed for the application portion. No doubt, Nitish. Anybody else, if you have doubt in this basic portion? Yes, guys. Preeti, Iti, Rupal. If you have any doubt, please. Understood, Hazir. Okay, so no doubt. So I'll proceed for application part. So I'm starting application part that might get over in the next class itself. So let me go with it. Okay, for applications of solo model, the first case is the same, applicability of underdeveloped countries. So we already have talked about this, that more capital they have a less capital. So this country will converge, towards this. It means once NR and this SFRN both will be equals. We do also consider this is a saving of country two. Okay, this is a saving of country one. So this country has a more capital, this country has a less capital. So we know the less capital would generate this less depreciation rate over here, and then this will converge more faster than this country. Okay, so this country has to reduce this capital, this country has to increase this capital. The only thing is that there's always below than NR, so that's why it will generate less depreciation. This will generate more depreciation. So this is the theory of Solovian model, that how to converge towards this R, which is basically equals to this R star. So this gives a path to, and this also giving us the applicability to all underdeveloped countries and also the developed countries. So how basically this model goes to all developing countries. Now we'll talk about the application portion, which is very important. That is a change in saving rate. Okay. So here, basically, why we are taking this, because we want to know the differences in saving rate, which affects actually the economic growth. So as an example of differences in saving rates, we can compare nations in which the residents regularly save at a high rate. Okay, such as Singapore, South Africa, or some other East Asian countries, with places in which the residents typically save at a low rate, such as most countries in sub Saharan Africa, or Latin America. Okay, so some countries save more, some countries save less. So according to that, their steady state growth would be what, and what kind of investment changes you would see in their capital stock. Some of the differences in saving rates results from the government policies also, and some may stem from cultural differences too. So the important point is that the saving rates differ across societies and over time. So whenever we do go with the time analysis, then it means your technical coefficient function would work out in the long run, because the all possible growth patterns would likely to adjust themselves, in that particular time period. So here we would see this k is equals to k by l. So you can even consider this is a small k situation. So this is just a capital per labor analysis. This k0 is nothing. This is your initial capital, and this k star 1 is your first steady state. Okay, this k star 2, this is your second steady state. So this first steady state is underlined by this first saving, the saving as by the assumption of this model, which is a constant proportion of this y by k. Okay, so this gives us this is what output per worker. As you know that by the assumption we are making it to the constant for our economy. Okay, so if this is a constant proportion of this, so always if the saving is rising, that will increase in the constant proportion over here. So this S1 is, indicating the smaller saving in the economy. From this initial capital, this has induced this capital growth and the saving in the economy. So this has generated from this point to this point, you can see K0. From this point to this point, this K0, this is the capital growth in the economy. What is the capital growth? This triangle you can see, this is change in K by K. Okay, this triangle is the change in K by K. Now what happens, because there is a change in saving, as the solo is indicating to all, or giving an implication to all developing countries that they have to increase their savings and also their capital growth, so that this capital growth would generate some of the depreciation also. So you can see this initial orange line. There is the S is also the proportion of this depreciation, and that is also the constant one. The reason capital growth is also proportional one, and also this labor growth is the proportional one. So this is plus n, but the depreciation is only associated with this utilization of capital. So that is why some depreciation would occur whenever you are utilizing this saving as a constant proportion of this y by k. So as a result of this, you generated this triangle of just change in k by k. Now, what happens if the saving is rising? As there is an implication by this model, the Solovian model, that the countries like developing and the underdeveloped has to focus on their saving intervention part. So, what happens? The new saving line would come. Okay, this new saving line is there, and this has induced another steady state growth for these nations. Okay, so here this is a constant proportion of this y by k. Okay, again, and this is giving us rise in this capital growth, and has generated this blue line, and this blue line is nothing. This is now a shift upward of this depreciation, which is a constant proportion of this. And we also know the n is also rising as the capital has to rise. Then along with this, labor growth has to be utilized with that. So whenever this capital growth is there, the more labor would be requiring. But here, maybe n is your constant one, but depreciation is rising in same proportion. So that's why this is shifting upward. Okay, so this upward shift is indicating here, uh, it's this is going somewhere here and will meet this blue line. You can see this blue line is just a same line or a concise line, this black one, but only to indicate, the separately I have drawn from, by side of this, side of this. So this is showing and indicating what, that the triangle which has been produced over here, this is greater, or we say, you can even call this one, fine. If I can compare this triangle, then this triangle is still greater. But from where I need to compare this triangle? From my steady state point, because this is also a steady state point. So from this steady state point, this triangle is definitely greater than this triangle. Okay, so this shows that my changing k by k is rising according to the Solovean assumption, that is affecting your capital growth and also the steady state. So this steady state is definitely lower when the saving is lower. When the saving is higher, the steady state would also rise, and also your capital growth is rising, or your R is rising. Okay, so your dr by dt is rising. So that is the first intervention, the first implication of this model. So if you summarize this in the short run, definitely an increase in the saving rate raises the growth rate of capital per worker, and this growth rate remains higher during the transition to the steady state. So in the long run, the growth rate of capital per worker is the same, zero. Why? Because R prime and R star both are equal. So your change in K by K is exactly zero for any saving rate, whether it is this or this. Okay. So in this long run or steady state situation, a higher saving rate leads to a higher steady state situation, or a capital per worker, which is a K star over here. So you are shifting from K star 1 to K star 2, not to change in the growth rate, which remains zero. So this is also zero, and this is also zero. The only thing is that now your steady state rate is higher, and from your initial capital, if you would like to compare it, so here the growth of capital is definitely higher. So this is the first solo application which is giving us, the implication about this change in the saving rate over here. Is there any doubt in this particular slide and the implication regarding this change in saving rate by the solo? Any doubt, guys? Students, do you have any doubt? Okay. Nitish said, okay, no, Preeti, no. So that is clear to you. So I think we'll keep this much for today. And this application portion will be continued in the next class. This is just two initial applications, which is actually talking about the change in saving rate and also the pattern of the growth for different kind of nations like developed and the developing countries, how they proceed according to this model and the possible growth patterns. So this giving us the applicability for both, even for developing countries and for developed countries, though the emphasis on capital, but the applicability is more for developing countries. So that is the important part in case of Solovian case, and how to increase saving and to reach towards the steady state growth. So that is a very interesting and technical thing in case of Solovian model. Okay, so